Hi, I'm Ian and this is Sydney. And this is Gemma, our 42-year-old sailboat that we bought for $1. When we sailed her home, she was a little rough around the edges and falling apart. Slowly but surely, we have been fixing her up. We still have a long road ahead, but we love the challenge and aren't afraid to get our hands dirty. Come with us on our journey as we sail and restore Gemma to her former glory, and get ready to set sail on the wildest adventure of our lives. In this episode of Sailing Gemma, we are checking a bunch of boat projects off the list, including fixing our rusted out steering, getting our anchor chain and rod spliced together, installing our new Victron solar system, replacing 2 old crusty thru-hulls. We hope you enjoy following along. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment to let us know what you think. Enjoy! The first thing on this week's project list is fixing the steering. I started out by CNC plasma cutting some brackets out of 3/8 steel plate that will be for the steering pulleys. I did not do this on Gemma. This is at my shop back home in New Hampshire where I restore cars for a living.
So I just got the piece all welded up and now I'm just cleaning it with some Prep-Sol. I'm gonna get it painted.
Alright, so here is the old steering bracket. I'm about to cut the cables out of it with the angle grinder because I don't want to dismantle them and they have these crimps on them, so I want to be able to recreate this. So I'm just gonna cut that out and go to there's one cable cut out. So this is the cable I'm gonna have to replace. Shouldn't be too hard. I just gotta make this up and get this and some crimps, a little doohickey. Might have to rob some of this stuff off of this, like this, and the little like metal piece that goes like this. We shall see though. Alright, so I just got 16 feet of cable and I'm just gonna start making these new ones. I'm just gonna get these ones cut apart because I found out that I'm gonna have to reuse this piece right here. So here we are. I have the steering, for the most part, all back together. The steering cables are in their place on the quadrant. I have the chain hooked up, and now when you steer the wheel, steer the quadrant, which is good. So, and everything's all tightened up. Now I just have to go down and hook up the shift cables to the engine. And so here's the bracket in. I just need to tighten the cables a little bit more. They're on the loose side. There's the cables in. They're in the binnacle right there, hooked up to the chain. We should be able to put that all back together soon. I just need to tighten this up a little bit, and then we're good to go.
How you doing?
So, what are we doing here, Sydney?
So we're about to pull out all of the 125 feet of anchor chain.
125 feet of anchor chain.
And we're gonna zigzag it all out so that we measure out 10 feet. So each side of the anchor chain, we can paint for 10 feet of the anchor chain. So when we're putting our anchor out, we can count how many feet are going out. We have different colors for the 50, 75, and 100, so we can really tell, okay, that's 100 feet, you know, because it's a different color. So it's a perfect day for this project, so let's get into it. We got a little mixed up and painted the wrong chain 75 because it's in the middle. It needed to be the next one. So we're gonna get some acetone and rub it off. Do the next one. Ian's just flipping the chain. We can paint the other side.
I wonder how long this will last before it wears out going through the windlass.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta get a couple of coats on it.
Yeah. That one I already flipped.
Oh, you already flipped that one?
Yeah.
Alright, well, there we go. So, there's the red.
Right there.
Probably should put that on something else's screen. So, this is our anchor. It is a 45-pound Delta style anchor. I got it for $400 at a consignment store compared to the $700 to get one brand new. It's in really good shape. I just got to cut the shackle off and put a new one on so we can hook it to our anchor chain, which we just painted. What did you think about the painting of the anchor chain, Sydney?
It went good. We messed up a little bit. Did the wrong middle part, but we fixed it. Got some acetone, fixed it.
Yeah, we marked 65 as 75, so we had to wipe it off and then paint that one because that's 65 feet, but we wanted to paint blue at 75 feet. So,
oops. It's okay.
So we're just waiting for it to tack up, and then we're gonna flip it over and paint the other side.
Alright, I'm about to splice some rope for the anchor chain. Let's see how this goes. Gotta watch a YouTube video, because YouTube is the best place to learn things. So the camera stopped, but I just finished my anchor splice, my anchor chain splice. It's not going anywhere. Kind of pumped for my first time doing that. It's pretty sweet.
Alright, so I am moving on to the next project. Installing our solar system. This is just some of the components that will run it and manage the electricity. I also have 2 batteries. They're at the bottom of the ladder still though. But so I'm gonna get this all installed on a wall in the engine compartment, and I'll show you guys where that is. And I am gonna get started on that. And I'm gonna grab the batteries and bring them up here and set them where they're supposed to be, and get this all mounted on the wall so it's all good to go. Here I have my high-tech color-coded wiring diagram. Definitely not all in chicken scratch. This is how I'm going to hook everything up. This is my Lynx distributor, my 2 200-watt batteries. I have my switch, my smart shunt. I've got my smart battery protect, and then I have my MPPT, and then my solar panels, and wiring in the windlass and everything. So, and then sooner down the road, I'm gonna have a multi-plus in, so which will convert. So I have the Lynx here, the MPPT there, I have my smart battery protect. I'm going to put my battery switch right here for on and off battery. The batteries are going to go right here. I'm probably going to put my smart shunt down here closer to the hull. And that's pretty much my entire system, other than like the inverter, and that's going to go in a totally different spot of the boat because I do not have enough room for a multi-plus in here. So, did you have fun splicing your line, Sid?
Yes, I did. It was a new experience, but it was fun to learn how to do, so.
Alright, so I just finished mounting all of the Victron equipment on the bulkhead, and I put the batteries on the battery tray. Now I am going to start running wires. I'm going to run the battery circuit, which is the batteries. I'm going to wire the batteries together, and then I'm going to run a positive from one of the positives to a battery switch, and from the battery switch to the Lynx distributor, and then I'm going to run a negative from a negative to my shunt, and then from the shunt to the Lynx distributor again. So we're going to start with that. I'm going to get those all measured up and cut them and then get ends on them. It's kind of hard to film the stuff that I'm doing in the compartment, but when I'm like doing all the battery ends and stuff, I'll film all of that for you guys. But it's just really hard because of how tight it is. I can barely fit myself in there and my tools to be able to work on it, let alone a camera to film it all. So alright, so I have my 3 positive battery cables that lead to my links. I have battery to battery. I have battery to switch. Oh wait, no, other way around. I have battery to switch, and then from switch to the links. I have to just put lugs and shrink wrap on now, and then I'm going to install that. Obviously the switch will remain off until everything is 100% done. I have to do the same with negative, from negative to negative to shunt to links, and then I run smart battery protect wires to links, so we're gonna have to do a lot of this today. Alright, so it is a couple of hours later, and I have been crawling in and out of this thing probably a good 100 times, and I have successfully finished the battery circuit. Alright, check it. So, got the positive on. I am going to zip tie this over like that. And, sorry, just gotta show you the negative side. So, you can see negative cable runs down, connects into the bottom of our Victron smart shunt. The shunt, this is the side that the battery hooks into. This is the side that the shunt exits, or really actually the electricity goes like this because it's coming back into the battery, but that's the cable, hooks in underneath the positive. The positive right here goes to the battery switch to battery. The two batteries are all wired together. I am going to figure out some sort of tie down. Probably it's probably just going to be a ratchet strap for now. And I have made up the cable that goes from the links distributor to my smart battery protect. And it is out of some 2 gauge. Luna is here, so is Sydney. They showed up about an hour ago. Here is the cable that goes from there to there. Then we go from the smart battery protect to my like 1-2 all switch on the breaker panel. I'm gonna set this battery bank up as 1. 2 is gonna be my starter battery, and all will obviously be both. So I'm teaching Sydney how to make ends, and I just made this one and showed her how to do it, and she's doing up the negative side. What we're going to do is we're going to take this and the negative, and I'm going to crawl into the bilge, and Sydney's going to feed it to me because this is the one actually tying it to our panel. So I'm going to feed it through the engine bay. Sydney's
struggling.
Struggling and getting it?
Yeah, I'm trying very hard not to cut the stuff.
You don't want to cut the wires on the inside.
Yeah, so I'm just going slow.
After all of that work, we decided it was time to see if we had power. So we started the engine for the first time this year. Don't mind Sydney stepping back because she thought it might explode.
Why'd you open that? Because it was shutting down.
That line that I was just talking about.
I think so, because you don't have much forward throttle.
This thru-hull that I'm replacing with a black one. I'm replacing it with a B&G depth and speed indicator. I had to ream the hole out a bit because the new one was a little bigger. We are using Sikafix to glue it in place.
Yeah, so Ian's about to throw the thru-hull through the hole in the boat. So he's Sikaflexing it. Yeah. The gasket?
Best I can.
Huh?
Are you threading it on?
Yep.
In the next episode, we are splashing Gemma and preparing for some summer cruising fun. Thanks for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more.